Meanwhile, in France, the big news, Mauricio Pochettino has been confirmed as the new coach of PSG. Frank, do you like this appointment?
I do. I always liked when players, when coach who comes to be in charge of a team know the club very well, and Pochettino is one of them. You know, he played for Paris Saint-Germain. He was a captain when I was also the captain of Marseille, and he was really a leader of that team with Ronaldinho at that time. And it's always good when you come back, you know, and you know exactly how clubs works. And I think Pochettino has the art of bringing something different to every club that he went to. And I'm pretty sure he's going to do the job well. It's going to be good for him because he's pretty sure to win something this season and the season after, you know, for Paris Saint-Germain. But also, you know, lately he showed with Spurs that he's capable of bringing any team to the final of the Champions League. And it's what Paris Saint-Germain is expecting from him. You know, having you know, a new smell of what he can or what they can bring, and also winning maybe one day the Champions League.
The general rhetoric, though, Jules, is that the players run that dressing room. How is he going to deal with that?
That's the question, Dan, really. That is the question. That is the big debate in France right now as well. Will he be able to implement his philosophy, his methodology to this dressing room? Will they listen to him? Will they do what he says in terms of effort, in terms of discipline? He did a quick interview on the PSG website today where he said, you know, with me, discipline is so important. Well, let's see how he reacts as well. If the players don't really do what he wants or what he says, let's see if the club backs him up or back the players, like often as well under Unai Emery or even Thomas Tuchel. It'd be very interesting. There's of course a sense that this is a team that is very hard to coach, that it's almost impossible to coach because they do their own thing. And Thomas Tuchel also had big ideas and big philosophy and was very good tactically, a bit like Pochettino, and Tuchel really struggled at times. And in the end, I think just had to go with the flow and say, okay, Neymar and Mbappe can do what they want with the ball. And in the end, even if in the final eight of the Champions League last season, it changed a little bit and it was more of a team, it was a lot of the time a sum of individuals more than a real team. Let's see if Pochettino can make this squad a proper team and this team a proper team, and they can gel and they can play as a team and not just as individual. I think for me that's the biggest challenge, is how that dressing room will respond to him. Will they take on the challenge, and also if the whole thing will work together.
How do you deal with it, Frank? Player power, obviously, in that dressing room is stronger than any other big club. How do you go about it? I imagine there isn't an ABC how to do it, is there?
Well, I guess there is nothing much to do but pray for the consentment of Mbappe and Neymar, for example.
Wow.
One thing on his side, he has been chosen by Leonardo, which is a good thing, which wasn't the case for Tuchel. When Leonardo came back, Tuchel was already there, you know, and we all felt immediately that didn't bond together properly, and maybe affected the relationship that Tuchel had with Neymar and Mbappe and maybe the others. But Pochettino first speaks Spanish, and it's a big plus in the dressing room, I can tell you. He has a Latin education, and he was a captain and a leader of Paris Saint-Germain, and it shows as a coach that he can bring any team. And Spurs were from far not the favorites of that competition at that time. He can bring a good team to the Champions League final, and this how he's going to show them that they have to believe on his method, and maybe they're gonna follow him, hopefully.
Frank, just going back to what you said, isn't it quite extraordinary the situation you're now in, that you're using the phrase, you've got to pray that the players will get on with you and will like you? How things have changed so much from your day?
Well, it's really specific, I think, to Paris Saint-Germain, where the history of Paris Saint-Germain showed that it's very hard to be a coach because you don't have a hierarchy. It doesn't seem to be a hierarchy in that team where the players seem to go straight to the chairman or to Leonardo to say, I'm not happy. Where it never happened in my time, but it doesn't happen to any club, I think, where you have to refer to the coach if you're not happy. And if you knock at the door to the chairman won't open the door. Now, of course, at my time, and when I was playing for Chelsea, Ken Bates or Colin Hutchinson, the manager, the general manager of the club, didn't want to have any kind of discussion about what was going on in the dressing room or on the field. That's of course a different time, but I really think it's very specific to Paris Saint-Germain, and it's where they have to grow up. In the way they have to grow up is to make sure that they keep that hierarchy, and the coach will be the first to know what's going wrong if something's going wrong in the dressing room.
No, I don't mean to bang on about this, Frank, but what interests me about that dynamic is what is the motivation for Neymar, for example, if Pochettino wants him to track back, wants him to go and win balls, doesn't give him that sort of free role. If I'm Neymar, what's my motivation to do that when I can just go to the big boss and say, oi, I don't like this guy?
That's complicated. You can ask the same question about Messi. I don't know if anybody can ask Messi to draw back and try to defend. And I'm not sure he's going to listen to it. But Neymar is younger, but it doesn't change anything. And you can say the same from Kylian Mbappe. If they don't want to defend, they won't defend. And if the coach is not happy, he can put them on the bench, but the fans won't be happy, so they will leave or they will go back because the coach will be forced to put them. There is no solution. And that's the main problem in not in modern football. You have to ask that big question. Is it a plus to have a star in the team? Yes, it is. But how you compose with him to make sure that your team is going to work and all the players were going to be happy and they're going to follow your method. That's a real problem, to have a big star, or to, in the case of Paris Saint-Germain, to have two big stars.
What's success this season, Jules?
I mean, domestically, the treble, I think, well, the double now because there's no League Cup anymore is, you almost take it for granted when you're the PSG owner or the PSG chairman or the sporting director or even some of the fans. I think Champions League, once again, like all those years since the Qatari took over in 2011, has to be the judge. That's where we will see there's that huge tie against Barcelona, a Barca team, as we've mentioned, that are not very good this season, a club in crisis. This is something you expect PSG to go through. And then you're in the quarterfinals, and then you can see who you draw, how far you can go, how you're playing by then, 3 months after Pochettino has arrived and his team. It'd be very, very interesting, but the Champions League has to be the decider. Maybe not so much this season, because in the next 6 months now, Pochettino, I think, will have the sort of adaptation time, if you want, where we can pass him on things if things are not really going his way. But again, like every season, Champions League is the way you judge that PSG team and the manager, of course.
Really interesting stuff, guys. Thank you very much. Just a reminder that Pochettino takes over a side currently sitting third in Ligue 1, 1 point off the top of Lyon and Lille. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.